Besides, almost everyone had left the firm for an early lunch meeting, leaving me more or less alone in the building. "What do you need?" I asked after scanning the premises just in case I wasn't alone, as I'd thought. Normally, I took my calls with Octo-Cat in the bathroom, but one of the junior associates had been holed up in there for at least half an hour before he left, and I definitely wanted to avoid whatever disaster scenario he'd left behind. "There's a fly in my avion," my cat complained with a keening mewl. His face looked utterly scandalized as he leaned in close to the camera. "Oh, you poor thing," I cooed, while rolling my eyes just out of his view. Octo-Cat was definitely too spoiled for his own good sometimes. But then again, I received a $5,000 monthly allowance for his care, so I really couldn't complain too much. "My thoughts exactly," he answered with a grimace and a sigh. "I need you to come home immediately to rectify this situation." "I can't. I'm at work," I reminded him with a beleaguered sigh of my own, while clicking through my overfull email inbox idly. Octo-Cat growled when he noticed he didn't have my full attention. "I thought you were supposed to only be going part-time now." Why was I constantly explaining my life choices to a cat? He rarely remembered what I told him anyway. We'd had this exact same conversation about my work at least 3 times already. Rehashing it now felt like the ultimate exercise in futility. Still, it was easier to explain yet again than to deal with one of his hissy fits. "Yes, technically I am part-time," I explained patiently, "but I need to help out extra until Thompson finally hires a new partner. It's been really busy around here, and unfortunately I just don't have time to stop home and pour you a new cup of water right now. I'm sorry." His eyes narrowed, ready to go to war over such a simple thing. "But don't you receive a generous monthly stipend to ensure I'm cared for in the manner to which I am accustomed? Because I most definitely am not accustomed to having a wiggly-legged fly swimming in my avion." Once again, it was easier to cave than it was to argue for hours or days on end. "Arg, fine. I'll send Nan by to pour you some more water. Happy?" He yawned, which only annoyed me more. "Not exactly. It will take me days to recover from this horrible event. Could you make sure Nan knows she needs to throw out the contaminated cup?" "You are a cat," I said between clenched teeth. "You are supposed to be a fearsome hunter, not a spoiled baby. You know, other cats even—" "Angie?" A deep, dreamy voice broke into the middle of our conversation. "Oh, no, no, no. Everyone was supposed to be gone." I spun around in my chair to find none other than Charles Longfellow III standing behind me and gawking over my shoulder at the image of Octo-Cat on my phone screen. Hi, Charles," I tittered nervously as I pushed the button to end our call. But it was too late. He'd already heard and seen more than enough to figure out my secret. The best I could hope for now is that he would think one or both of us had gone crazy. I took it as a good sign that he stood looking at me as if I'd sprouted a second head. Perhaps that would have been less strange than what he'd really walked in on. "Is everything all right?" he asked, raising one thick eyebrow in my direction. The air suddenly felt impossibly thin, like the office had been transported to the top of the nearest mountain. I nodded, desperate for Charles to go away and stop questioning me. "Perfectly all right. Thanks," I lied, wishing I'd inherited Nan's legendary acting skills. As it was, I could tell my colleague wasn't fooled by my feeble attempts to downplay the situation. Sure enough, his voice dripped with sarcasm as he said, "Really? Because it seemed like your cat needed some help with his